Hello everyone, this is Doxy Mom and welcome back to my channel. If you haven't done so already, please hit that little red subscribe button. You can ring the bell for notifications, and if you like this video, just give it a thumbs up. Well, here's Miss Cindy and we're going to bring you the news in 15 minutes or less, and we got a lot to get to, so let's get started. I did just want to mention I had just saw this right before I started to make my report, and apparently a woman, Candace Marie Claiborne, on Tuesday, well, she broke down in tears as she was sentenced to 40 months in prison for conspiring with foreign agents. And Jake Gibson, he tweeted this out. He said, former State Department employee Candace Claiborne sentenced to 40 months in federal prison for passing internal State Department documents to Chinese agents in exchange for tens of thousands of dollars in cash and gifts. Well, you know, you can't be doing that, Miss Claiborne, so good. Glad to see another person going to jail. Now, Hannity, he was on Fox News, and he reported that Christopher Steele, y'all know the guy, the Brit that was hired by the DNC and created the dirty dossier, well, he was questioned by federal prosecutors in June. Now, they flew over to the UK, and they were 3 lawyers from the Inspector General Horowitz's office, and the interview, it lasted over 15 hours. Now, this is one of 2 reasons that the IG report hasn't come out yet. Now, the other was, remember I told you about those last-minute witnesses coming forward, and other people, they had to be re-interviewed because of Steele's testimony. Now, according to Hannity, James Comey, you know, he used to be the FBI head guy, Andrew McCabe, his number 2, Sally Yates, that was Obama's deputy attorney general, and then, of course, we all know who Rod Rosenstein is, the deputy attorney general working with Mueller on the Mueller report. Well, they should all be very worried. Now, Steele's dossier was an unverified document full of lies, and Steele admitted that he did not know if this dossier was true or not. Now, how did Robert Mueller miss this? Well, maybe we'll find out on July 17th when Mueller testifies in front of Congress. Maybe. Now, of course, Steele hates our president, and 4 different people were paying the man to make up these lies and to spread these lies. They spread it everywhere, to the FBI, the DOJ, Obama's State Department, and multiple media outlets. Now, many red flags were raised by some of these good government officials, white hats, but of course, James Comey and others, well, they didn't care. Because James Comey, he went ahead and got those FISA warrant applications so he and others could spy on the Trump campaign. Guys, this is Watergate on steroids, okay? Now, Comey swore that the evidence was true and accurate. Comey, you're a liar, and you know God abhors a lying tongue. Now, guys, this FISA, it's not going away, and it's going to send some people to jail. It's just a question of when. Now, for some reason, I don't know why, but I decided to watch an MSNBC because the headline had read Barr and Epstein, they were in it. Now, listen to this. I'm quoting this newscaster. I don't know his name. I'm just going to call him Mr. Newscaster. This is what he said. The Attorney General of the U.S. announced that he will take control of the new federal prosecution of Jeffrey Epstein, a friend of Donald Trump's. Now, hold it. First off, it's President Trump. And secondly, Jeffrey and our president are not friends. But he continued to say, and I quote, an old friend of Donald Trump's who has been charged with sex trafficking of young girls in federal court in New York City. After the dramatic surprise of Jeffrey Epstein, wait, huh? What? Dramatic surprise? Surprise? You've been living under a rock, man? Continuing on, he says, and dragged into court on Monday. He he sure likes to make this dramatic, doesn't he? Dragged? Really? Then he's surprised that Barr won't recuse himself from the new charges. Now, guys, we know that Barr cannot work on the old case because of the law firm that represented Epstein was a firm that Barr had joined just for a short period of time. So he's recusing himself from the old case. But that has nothing to do with these new charges. Then they accused Barr of having an unnamed DOJ official leak to selected news medias that Barr won't recuse himself from the new Epstein case. And this Mr. Newscaster seemed like he just could not believe that Barr would not recuse himself. So in less than a minute and a half, I had watched this literally 1 minute, 30 seconds, okay? In 1 minute, 30 seconds, there were a ton of lies. It was entirely misleading. And how do people watch this garbage? I just have no idea. And, I just don't have a stomach for this mess. But I'll leave a link. If you want to go over and watch it, you can go watch it. And I just gave it a thumbs down and turned it off and went to bed. And then, guys, I woke up a grandma. So that's all I'm going to tell you about that. But I'm the proud grandmother of a little baby girl. So it's just been a glorious day. Moving on. Now, Tom Fenton over at Judicial Watch reported that John Hatchett, a former top official at the State Department, repeatedly warned his supervisors about Hillary's email issues. Now, first, he warned about her unsecure BlackBerry, then about deleting those 33,000 emails, and then about possible interference in the formal FOIA review process of Hillary's email documents. And it all fell on Comey's deaf ears. So this points to the Obama administration as a conspiracy to hide and destroy Hillary's emails, and Hillary's Benghazi emails were underclassified to protect Hillary. Well, of course they were. Now, Tom Fenton, he wants Barr to reopen the email investigation. And let me just say this to you, Tom Fenton. We love you. You're a true patriot, but don't you worry now. My guess is that Mr. Huber and others, they're taking care of it. Now, Proj Veritas strikes again. Another whistleblower came forward from Google with a document where Google that shows 1,186 Google employees co-signed a petition so Google would ban Breitbart News from their ad networks in order to cut them off from their revenue stream. Now, guys, this is wrong on so many levels. I mean, they want to censor the truth, and then they're messing with Breitbart's bottom line. Now, the kicker is that Google prides itself on inclusion and diversity, according to the whistleblower. Really? Okay. The whistleblower goes on to say that Google is inducing political action through their employees to express their intolerance to any sort of dissenting opinion. But Google claims to be impartial and publishes content to be impartial. Publishers of content, I'm sorry, can't even read my writing here. But according to the document the whistleblower brought to light, Google is anything but impartial. That is so true. Now, Proj Veritas reached out to Breitbart, and this is what Breitbart said. They said, this is more confirmation that Google is staffed with many left-wing activists with an un-American desire to silence, defund, and deplatform those they politically disagree with, and that this is all about 2020. Now, this didn't happen. They didn't censor Breitbart. But this tells us that Google has fostered a hostile and intolerant culture against anyone they disagree with politically. So, Google people, you might want to start stocking up on Kleenex for election night, because you're going to need them when they announce that President Trump is your president for the next 4 years. Now, President Trump, he tweeted about this. He said that a handful of leftist big tech overlords are deciding what ideas are acceptable and dictating what info spreads online, and now they're deciding who is allowed to make a living on the internet. Big tech has become the single greatest threat to our freedoms. And guys, he is right, so Lord, just help us in this area, please. Now, Paul Sperry, he said that photos taken of Jeffrey Epstein and Bill Clinton, previously available on Google Images, appears to have been scrubbed. Now, guys, we have to spread the word that President Trump was not friends with Epstein, but he and Bill, they were very close friends. In fact, Epstein gave Bill $4 million to help start the Clinton Global Initiative. And he rode on his plane 27 times to Epstein Island. But of course, Bill claims he knows nothing about the alleged crimes of his good buddy Jeffrey Epstein. Okay, Bill, and you did not have sexual relations with Monica Lewinsky either, did you? Moving on. Now, Hannity tweeted out this. He said, "This is how you deal with your players. Respect our flag, respect our national anthem, and respect our country." Because apparently an unidentified hockey coach went viral on social media this week telling his players to support the United States and Canadian national anthems or get the bleep out. Now, good for you, sir, except for the profanity. But, to me, playing a sport where you're representing your country, it's a privilege, not a right. And if you don't respect your country, just pick another one and go there. Well, hey guys, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and continue to share my videos wherever you'd like. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Doxy Mom, and God bless you all.